How different is the election shaping up for the 2013 from the 2010 national polls? President Aquino enjoys widespread support from the people given the success of his reform agenda. What can other political forces offer to our people better than what has been achieved by the president? It looks like an uphill battle for those not allied with the administration. What will be the outcome? Joining us tonight on the line to give us her assessment of what will shape up for the 2013 elections is Ms. Malou Tiquia, a respected political analyst. She rates high in predicting results of elections. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Angel.
Yes, ma'am. Let's start. In 2007, President Arroyo's bets of the Senate suffered a beating from the opposition, and her endorsements were a kiss of death. And by next year, 2013, the scenario is very different. President Aquino's endorsement or anointment is a plus for any candidate, especially those running for the Senate. Is this the way you see it?
That's right. Because you have to remember that President Aquino actually has a very high approval rating. The satisfaction is very high. And to me, at 75%, you can practically use it to get the slate to win. The other thing going for him really is that since it is midterm, it's a referendum to him. But you have to look at it in a different light, considering that the two parties that are contending for the 12 positions are actually of the same support base as to the president.
So, ma'am, given that very high trust rating with the administration right now, what are the pluses for the administration bets? It's a formidable coalition composed of 5 parties, of course, led by the Liberals and the United Nationalist Alliance, are not inclined to have a negative campaign against the president. Some observers say it's an Aquino election. Do you agree with this?
Well, it's not really an Aquino election because we've had that. I think it would be more proper to look at it as really a vote by the voters on the reform agenda. That's true. Secondly, it could also be a vote to where are you going to take the country 3 years down the road. I think that is what is missing in the framing for the debate. This is quite early, but it should have been part of the messaging by telling the voters, where am I going to take this country? Because if the vision is not laid out, it will be very hard to justify getting the 12 to win. If you take a look at the LP coalition, there are 5 re-electionists there, while Una has 1. If you take a look again at the coalition, there is the body languages of the people who were named in the slate shows that there's some teamwork, strategizing that have to be considered, considering that they are coming in from various persuasions.
Mm-hmm. So, ma'am, how do you think will local candidates be a factor in the Senate race? And does
the local candidates, that's practically a different consideration in terms of probably putting together the harvest areas for the slate. Why? Because at the local level, there are several, I think, categories where there are free zones. There is equity of the incumbent, although the income in the talks so the local is kind of different ball game compared to your national slate.
So now, do you think that the Lakas party has enough clout to support the UNA?
I don't think the Lakas party will figure into this midterm election, simply because there are no candidates that are clearly Lakas. Most of the Lakas at the local level joined the coalition. Some joined UNA. But the challenge in the campaign really is the messaging towards, do you support the reform? If you are for the reform, would you be part of the building of the national agenda towards 2016 that pursues the package of reforms that have been set. Third, the constructiveness of being an opposition is actually to a certain degree built in UNA. But you really don't see a clear opposition. So this is, I would compare it to two sister teams slugging it out for the 12 seats.
So, ma'am, people are saying those running for the Senate and even in local contests, the candidates are more of the same, nothing new. Even Ramon Casiple called them the old suspects. Why and what could be done to change the political landscape?
Well, that's true. It's the same names, the same faces that you see. I think there should be an effort where the political parties really work towards picking candidates that are not figuring well in the campaign but can really be reform-minded individuals who will support the reform program. You see, Angel, surveys are not the be-all for a candidate. It's a measuring rod. It tells you where you are, but the surveys will not tell you you're sure to win.
Definitely, ma'am. Yes. So, do you see any spoiler effects by in next year's elections?
Do I see
any spoiler effects in next year's elections?
The spoiler effect. Yeah, you mentioned that. The spoiler effect would really come in because if you look at the ballot, our ballot now is not top of mind. The ballot already provides the names of the candidates. So the spoiler effect, the campaign previous to the automation was top of mind. Now, I think since the names are already listed, you look for value. What is the value proposition of this candidate? Yes, he may be an old name. Yes, he might be the son of a former public official. But what is really the value in terms of where do I want to see the country by 2016?
All right, thank you, ma'am, for sharing your thoughts tonight on NewsLife. That was Ms. Malou Tiquia, one of the country's top political strategists, president of Publicus. Thank you, ma'am.